So how, I want to maybe pivot a little bit to how are you using AI personally? What are the kinds of things that you've done? I know it's allowed you to do some more. I know you've been involved in more coding projects, but want to hear more like how has it changed how you lead, what you do, what you build?
Break it down. So in coding, it's definitely like I can code again. You know, I have bandwidth to code because it doesn't take any time, and which is great because I don't have to actually get in the details, which I never like doing anyways, right? So, and also for me, like I wasn't really great at AWS. Like I wasn't good at, and I shouldn't say this, especially on camera, but I didn't like to take the time to create policies, create all the different roles properly. Now I don't. Now Claude does it for me. So that's now I deploy stuff infrastructure. Like I don't even have to use the what's the one you use that starts with a V. Not to bring out brands, but like there's all in kind of encompassing app deployers.
Vercel.
Anyway, yeah, Vercel.
Vercel.
Like, you know,
I love Vercel.
Yeah, like I can just use straight up base infrastructure and like just let it go. That's
amazing.
That's a game changer for me personally, and make it secure. Secure code review. I can review. I mean, a year. I can review all the code like really quickly. Do you know what I mean? That's a game changer for me because I didn't have time as a leader to like actually like engage in that anymore, and also to do spot checks. Right. That's kind of huge. I've not really gotten into, you know, I use OpenClaw. I started to use Claude Cowork. I haven't really leaned into them that much. I haven't got that much benefit out of them yet. I'm a little bit scared of them, but no, I haven't really just. To be honest, a lot of the stuff I might use OpenClaw for, I already use Claude for. So because it already has all those tools and stuff like that. But where else have I used it in my life? Basic soft stuff too. A lot of soft stuff, like a lot of like writing or does this email the right tone? Almost like my mother's looking over my shoulder now saying, no, Carl, it's not the right tone. That helps. But pure tech wise, I guess in my daily personal life, I mean, just like everybody else, I think, but a little bit more nerdy because of the coding and the creation of apps and stuff like that. But
yeah, my big, the big one that I've been really kind of been digging is this idea of when you get tired of writing prompts over and over again, is the moment you realize, this is what skills are for. As soon as you have to do something, maybe 2 or 3 times, I go quickly gravitate towards, and I look at skills of like it's almost like a piece of software that you get really good. You take the time. It's like back to you write once and enjoy the fruit many times. I take the time to create a skill, and sometimes I started with saying, "Hey, build me a skill based on these things that we've done together," right? Because I don't want to I want to be able to slash the thing, slash the thing. Here's the new context, and boom, off you go. Yeah. It is a superpower. Like we thought LLMs were amazing before. It is a superpower when you can encapsulate almost like 2 hours worth of context into this slash command.
But then I use AI to do that. So it's like, so if you have like a constitution above all this that kind of says, well, if I do anything twice, please make a skill. Like, you know, it's going to start making skills for, I actually think like, you know, being a little bit, trying to be a futurist in some sense that, you know, we're like in SaaSmageddon in terms of like, where is this all going, this whole industry? I honestly, there could be a pathway for like basically instead of buying software, you're buying a skill. Like, you know, I can't create Salesforce or VMware with my skills. It would take me, you know, very long time. Even with Claude, but I could get someone else's skill that can help me do that, like the Salesforce skill. And so now I won't be buying software, I'll be buying skills that can help me make it. Or like, you know, the awesome developer at Google that I can't afford, now I'm going to buy his skill file package and use it kind of thing. And people are going to market that way. I think in the short term, not too far near term, people are going to do that, but I don't know if that's where it could end up, like totally.
I think I would probably roll up the skills and an agent. Right, and an agent skills, I don't know, like some combination thereof, where it's a marketplace, almost like you think about Fiverr or one of these Upwork or something. And basically, the agents and the skills are there. They've been, you know, they have the 5 stars or 4 stars. How many times they've been used, right? Like just like a great marketplace. And like I'm with you because then Claude can go buy. Search and find, buy you, get the skill, right? And off you go.
And that's one place I am fearful of right now is because, you know, there is no marketplace, there is no store, there is no SCA type scanner that says these are good skills, these are bad skills. I mean,
this skill will
there's some
steal your data.
I mean, there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened with OpenClaw a few months ago, right? But there is no repository and there's no tool right now that says, tell me if the skill is bad or not on all these OpenClaw desktop apps, agents, right? Anyways, good business idea for someone.